Hi guys, Harry here from MoveMind. A couple of guest videos for BeyondGrappling. We're going to be covering today 3 ways to stretch the pectorals. In fact, one of the ways is going to be using a lacrosse ball for soft tissue, and then a couple of stretches that you can use, one as a warm-up to kind of prepare the tissue, and then another one as a cool down for after training. So let's have a look at the 3 ways to stretch the pectorals. So first thing we're going to do is try and release some of the tension out of the pectoral muscles, major and minor. You're going to need a lacrosse ball, tennis ball is also good, golf ball is good as well. You need a doorway, a rack, or the edge of a wall, and you're going to just place the ball against the surface of the rack or the door frame, and then you're going to position the ball right in the groove of where the deltoid ends and the pectoral starts, and you'll feel the pec minor, it's right there, right in that little divot. That's where you're going to put the ball. Gently lean into it. You can hold the ball still because we don't really need the ball to move too much, and then just gently you're going to wave your arm in a nice big semicircle for 10 reps. This should take about 30 seconds. You can do a little bit longer if you want, 30 seconds to a minute. If you find an area that's really tight, you can just lean on it statically without any movement, and then this should be enough to knock down some of the tension in the pectoral muscle before we start to stretch it. Okay, so second stage then, now that we've rolled out the area of the pec major and minor to knock down some of the tension, we're going to use what's called PNF stretching, or contract relax stretching, to prepare some of the tissue. And this is good to do before your training, before grappling. You can even do a little bit of this before lifting. You're going to need, again, the rack or the door frame, and you're just going to stand inside with your elbow at 90 degrees and a 90-degree angle through your armpit, and you're just going to lean forwards until you start to feel the stretch through the pec. You can also play around with angling your elbow slightly higher than your pec, and then from there you'll find the best of the 2 positions, in line with the shoulder or slightly above. Once you feel the stretch, you're just going to do a contraction into the door frame or into the rack for 10 seconds at about 70%. So not 100%, 10 seconds squeeze. Once you've done the 10 seconds, you're going to back off the squeeze and just move a tiny bit further into the stretch position. You can repeat that for 2 or 3 rounds, and again do it at the position that felt the tightest for you, and then you're ready to go and train or go and get a grappling session in. So the third way we're going to stretch the pec is a bit more of a passive manner. So this works well for doing your stretches after your training to calm your nervous system down. You wouldn't really want to stretch the pectoral in this fashion before training heavy with weights or before a heavy grappling session. So passive stretch, we're going to go down into the scorpion, down on the floor. So you're just going to lie belly down, the arm outstretched that you want, 90 degrees again to your armpit, and you're just going to relax your shoulder down onto the floor. And then using the leverage of your body, your torso, you're just gently going to twist away until you feel a stretch in the pec and a little bit in the front of the shoulder. And you're just going to hang out here for 2 minutes, just passively. You don't need to contract by pushing your arm down, nothing like that, just relax. And then once you've come out, you can also play around with changing the angle slightly, maybe a bit more 45. You can hit a little bit more of the bicep if you need to. Play around with the angle that works best for you, and then just hang out here for 2 minutes. So why would we want to address tension in the pectorals? It's an important question to ask. We're not just doing this randomly. It's pretty simple. Very often grappling comes at a cost to posture. Okay, if we think about the ideal grappling posture, the shoulders are rolled forwards to defend the center line. This comes up all the time. But what that means is the tissues in the pec minor, pec major, they are in a shortened position, which doesn't lend itself too well for healthy posture. In fact, for healthy posture and for the rest of our waking lives, we'd actually prefer to be in a more neutral position here. Okay, so the reason we're addressing the tension here in the pec is to help us to be able to maintain better posture by opening up the front of this shoulder line. So why is the neutral position of the shoulder relative to the spine important? If we think about mechanics of the shoulder, we don't really want to do too much heavy lifting, heavy exertion with the shoulder in a forward position like this. Okay, this is bad for pressing, especially. Any kind of horizontal push with a shoulder in this position, it's not going to lend itself well for your rotator cuff health, etc. Not to mention the postures that we're in a lot of the time in life anyway, with keyboards, screens and steering wheels, with this rolled forward position, forward head posture. Okay, so by addressing tension here through the pec line, we can start to reverse a little bit of that forward shoulder position and put us in a healthier position, so that when we come to do our training with resistance, you know, the weight training and in the gym, we can at least press with good mechanics, pull with good mechanics, and make sure that this shoulder line has been opened up. Okay, good for grappling, good for life. So that's 3 ways to address some tension through the pectoral line. First, release it. And then second, if you're warming up or prepping for a training session, do a bit of PNF or contract relax to get the muscles firing. Or if you're at the end of a training session, you can release it first and then go down into the scorpion position and just passively hang out there for 2 minutes. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe for more content, and catch you guys soon.